In hostile territory, staying unseen is as critical as reaching your objective. Welcome to Evasion Route Planning, where we'll learn to balance speed and concealment, choosing routes that keep you hidden while moving forward. Let's master the art of slipping through the shadows. Evasion navigation is about moving undetected through challenging environments, whether escaping pursuit, conducting covert operations, or surviving in hostile areas. By carefully selecting routes, using terrain to your advantage, and planning for contingencies, you can avoid detection. This skill is vital for military missions, survival, or high-risk escapes. Evasion route planning hinges on 4 key principles. Terrain masking. Use natural features like hills, forests, or ravines to block enemy line of sight. Avoid population centers and steer clear of towns, roads, or settlements to minimize civilian encounters and surveillance. Natural concealment involves leveraging dense vegetation, shadows, or dead space to stay hidden. We'll touch more on dead space in a moment. Plan at least 2 escape routes to adapt to threats or blocked paths. In some scenarios, it may be best to plan more than 2 escape routes. Dead space are areas hidden from observation. Think of something like a ravine or a depression in the landscape, or an alleyway in an urban area. On a topographic map, there's a few things that you can try to focus on. You can look for tightly packed contours or hachured lines indicating low areas. You should also identify terrain like gullies or wooded valleys that block enemy sight lines. In the field, you should be scouting out an area of operation as much as you can before proceeding with the mission to confirm these areas provide cover and adjust your route to stay concealed. You should be doing as much recon and intel gathering as you can so you can know your enemy's observation patterns. Study likely vantage points like hilltops or towers where enemies may be watching from. You should also be analyzing patrol schedules or sensor placements to predict surveillance gaps. Avoid skylines or open areas where you're exposed to spotting. Think of the ridgeline of a mountain. If you were walking right across the top of it, you'd be easily spotted from multiple directions. Plan routes through low ground or covered areas to exploit blind spots in their coverage. Timing is also always going to be critical for evasion. You should be moving during low visibility conditions like dawn, dusk, fog, or heavy rain to reduce detection risk. Consider UAVs and drones potentially using thermal imaging, and recognize the importance of trying to move as discreetly as possible at all times. You should be utilizing weather forecasts to predict conditions that obscure enemy sensors, like storms or cloud coverage. You should also be avoiding predictable movement schedules to keep enemy guessing. Don't move at the same time of day every day. Timing your moves with natural cover maximizes your concealment. Cache points and rally positions ensure flexibility. A cache point is a pre-planned hidden supply stash with food or equipment along your route to sustain long evasions. Mark them on maps with precise coordinates. You should also designate regrouping spots, or rally positions, in places like a concealed grove or building for your team to reassemble if separated. You should be planning multiple locations for redundancy and mark them clearly for navigation, but ensure that if a map that you have falls into enemy hands, it's not easy to distinguish what those points may be. Operational security, or OPSEC, protects your evasion plan. You should avoid established paths or trails that enemies may monitor. You should also be using encrypted communication channels or silent signals to coordinate. Conceal planning materials, like maps or notes to prevent compromise, and brief your team members discreetly and in a limited way to share details to maintain secrecy. Advanced techniques enhance evasion. Terrain analysis for concealment involves studying contours and vegetation on maps to find natural covers like forests or dead space. Understanding your enemy's sensor capabilities allows you to anticipate drones, thermal imaging, or radar and plan routes through areas that disrupt these technologies, like dense canopies. In regard to timing with weather, you should be using fog or rain or snow to mask movement with infrared or visual sensors. These strategies keep you one step ahead of advanced threats. Evasion route planning is critical for special operations and other covert missions. You should be practicing plotting routes on topographical maps and test them in varied terrains. Watch for challenges like enemy patrols or changing weather, and always have alternate routes ready. Combine map reading, compass skills, and terrain awareness to stay undetected. Evasion Route Planning blends stealth, strategy, and preparation. By leveraging terrain, timing movement, and maintaining security, you can navigate hostile environments behind enemy lines undetected. Plan smart, stay hidden, and reach your objective. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.